Hello and welcome to a new episode of Car Lube TV. In this episode, we're doing some more interior modifications on my Scirocco R. A couple of episodes ago, we were in the Scirocco interior and we were fitting the DSG gloss surround to the gear stick, and it's really sort of tied in with the other gloss piano black stuff in the interior. We also did the high on boost cup holders, which have become very helpful. Anyone looking to buy those should get in touch with High on Boost. Really good little modification there, especially if you are constantly putting beverages in your center console. We did the Alcantara steering wheel, still loving that there, but all of these modifications have been designed to try and update the feel of the interior of this car. You do need to bear in mind that this is a 2016 Scirocco R, and cars like this didn't come from the factory with Apple CarPlay or cruise control or adaptive cruise. All of these things we have in more modern cars these days. And it's nice to introduce them to a slightly older car and actually make it feel a bit newer. So, with that in mind, the modification that we have for today is a wireless charging docking station. And by the end of this video, I do truly believe that we'll be able to perform some magic, because we'll be able to wirelessly charge my mobile phone without any wires at all. Wow, now we're talking. I have been looking forward to fitting this because at the moment, like everybody else, I have trailing wires whenever I want to charge my phone up when I'm in the car, and it can be quite annoying being able to put the phone just out of the way, but being charged every time I put it out of the way is the ideal situation here. So let's get it fitted, and I'll give you a detailed guide on how easy it is. I'm not especially sure it will be easy, but I'll give you a good description of how I get on. Okay, guys, let's have a look at the charger that's in the box. You'll notice here we have some Chinese writing on here, which does indicate that this charging device is from AliExpress. I will put a link for this item in the description of the video underneath. So if you want to go ahead and buy this as well, feel free to click on that link. This is not sponsored. Let's open the box and see what's in there. Okay, so bit of foam, and then we have a bag with the docking unit in it. Okay, all right, so that looks okay. This is where your phone goes, obviously, and this whole panel replaces all of this panel here. So I'm going to have to take the buttons that are currently here out and put them in here. There looks like a heatsink on the back there, and it does look like we've got some illuminations for lights here. Hopefully they come in blue. That will be good. So obviously wiring there. Let's pop that down. What else is in the box? We have some wiring for, I should imagine that this is going to have to piggyback off of the 12-volt cigarette lighter. So this is probably how that's going to be jerry-rigged together. And just finally on here is a sticker. I suppose that goes on the rig like that. And I suppose it's up to you whether or not you want to use that or not. Because if it does, I thought these were lights. Or maybe they're not lights. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's actually got a bit of a rubbery patch on it already, so to grip your phone. And maybe these are the lights here. But that's obviously designed to put your phone on there like that. All right, so like that, I suppose. Okay, first thing we need to do is obviously remove the old rubbish charger that we have here with the cable in it. That goes in the bin, or for the purpose of this, down there at the moment. We then need to put the ignition on and move the gear stick into the D position, or the N position is fine as well. Let's turn the ignition back off so we don't have any noises. And we need to start by removing this panel here. So let's get this panel off here. Incidentally, I only just fitted this one in a couple of episodes ago. So get our trim removal tool in there and bring that up. And again, to remove this part, we don't need to remove it completely, but we want to get it out of the way adequately. just pinch those two pieces together, and that can come out independently of that, through the middle there, like that. Okay, now we have a cable here, which we can choose to take out or choose not to take out. We will remove the cable today because it's just easier. This one just here. All we need to do to remove that is just push that clip in and that will come out. There we go. So just so you can see that screwdriver in behind there and then pulls out. So now we've got that DSG surround away. You can see we've got a Torx bolt there and a Torx bolt there. These need to come out. Okay, that should now leave that. Oh yes, that's nice and loose there now. So I should imagine we can pull that out of there now. Okay, that does come out of there now. There we go. So it seems to be held slightly on the back there. I've pulled it out of its place and we're now at that position there. It won't come all the way. There's a bit of resistance there. I think it might be because we've still got all the cables in place. So those probably need to start coming out now. I've never taken these buttons out before, so I'm not entirely sure how they go. I think they might go up. When we get them to this point, we definitely need to take this plug off of here because then they come out the top, you see. So let's get that out the way. I was just wondering if we could get them mixed up going back, but they can't because they are colour coordinated. There we go. Out you come. Worth bearing in mind that on here you can actually see the metal part that I'm pushing together to push them upwards. So this is like a spring that keeps them up. Under here we can just about see there's a little screw in there which we need to pull out of there. You don't need to be, it's just holding the loom in its place. There you go. Now you're out of there. Now the only thing holding the panel on is the 12-volt cigarette lighter, so we now need to remove that. And I have been warned this is the bit that can be quite tricky. First of all, let's unplug him. That part wasn't the tricky part, but I understand getting this out of here can be a little bit on the problematic side. So what we'll do is we'll take that out in a moment. We have both of them there together. What we're just double checking is all of these, the top part's going to be correct so that it fits in okay. The bottom part does lose the loop there. Is not on this one, so that's where the cables were secured to. Apart from that, the biggest difference is we're going to lose a bit of tray. So we're going to lose a bit of tray size and we're going to gain a charger. I think we are winning there. I do want to test that this is going to work before we go any further, and it actually does charge my phone. This is the cable that came with the charging dock, and I assume one part goes into this part here. Can only go one way, securely in there. And then we got two plugs on this side, and this is the car loom one, so let's pop him in there. That cable there is plugged in. Let's give it some power and see if anything happens. We do have some red lights. Let's put my phone on it and see if that lights up. It's charging. Oh, I mean, it fell off. When it's charging, these lights go blue. So you've got a blue light there, and a blue light at the top there as well. And it goes red when it's not charging. And we've got the charging symbol at the top there as well. Splendid. The next thing we're going to do now, we know that it works, is start to put some of these buttons back in. So we have, first of all, the traction off, which I assume goes there. Just trying to remember really now. The comfort one that goes there. And we're missing one. One button has been lost. It's not been lost. It's down there. That's good. Oh, no, it's gone back down there. Don't go into the depth. Okay, we got it back. That was lucky. Okay, and that one goes in there like that. Okay, and then we've got the blanking ones which need to go in there as well. So let's push them home. There we go. So that's the three buttons back in there now. We need to pull out the blanking ones from the other unit. Assume they just push out. They do. 1 and 2. Don't worry about the 12-volt cigarette charger. We're coming back for you. Do note some of these buttons have round edges on them. And this is worth knowing if you're going to replace these buttons with anything else. Now, I do intend in the future to have a valved exhaust, and I've seen some buttons there that have a button so you can turn the exhaust on and off. That's an intention of mine, so let's get these blanking ones in there now. There you go. We can now call that a job done. Of course, it's not a job done. We need to take the 12-volt charger out of the old unit. On here, we have the black part just here, and they're grabbing on, and these need to independently be pulled up. So let's try and do that. Pulled up or pulled off. There we go. That part has come off. Next, we've got this turquoise part, and this needs to come off. I believe with the prying tool, I can just bring that up. It's fiddly to see, but there's actually a connector in there that's making connection with this barrel here and this part here. So you need to sort of put the tool in there, and it also makes contact here as well, you see. So it's making contact in both places, and I believe that just comes. Might use a screwdriver on that actually. I'm trying my best to let you see what I'm doing, but I'm learning it at the same time. That came off with such speed. Down there somewhere, I now need to go and find that green part. There he is, just down there. Okay, all right, let's get on with the work. I just want to show you this before I start pulling this out. Inside here, there are clips that could easily snap, I suppose. Let's do our very best here not to break these clips and push this all the way through that way. It should come out in one go, you see. So let's get a screwdriver on that plastic clip there. That is not really budging. It is solid in there at the moment. I know which tabs I've got to push in, but they are quite difficult to get on. And they're plastic and brittle, so maybe they might break. And this annoying little flap keeps opening and closing as well. We're going to rip that off. I mean, I feel like I might be forcing this somewhat. Got it. Ah, okay. Okay. It's now released. I don't believe I've snapped no, I haven't snapped it. So I got it a slightly different way. As you saw there, I was putting my screwdriver in that way and also in there as well, because it's clinging on to the inside. Now that should come out all the way through now. There we go. Yes! Yes! Victory! As you can see, I've pushed them in a little bit, but that's fine. They can just be pushed back out. That's not damaged. And we're now left with the orange ring that now needs to come out of there, and this annoying little handle. So nothing there is broken. It is difficult to show you exactly where I was putting the screwdriver, but you can just see where there's a slight bit of indentation on the 3 o'clock and also the 9 o'clock, just as you can see it there. That's where I was jamming my screwdriver in. You can see on here, to get the orange part out, you've got these orange prongs there and on that side there, which we need to sort of pinch together to get that to come out. I'm going to bring in my screwdriver again here and just see if we can push that in like that. On one side, yes, got that. And then on the other side, yeah, got that. And that's coming through nicely. Here we go, guys. Yes. Okay. It gives us a good opportunity to have a final look at this hole and compare it with this hole. Now, apart from the fact that the notch, which you can see there, is in a different position on this one, I don't know what the significance of that is. but that might need to be cut out of this one. Okay, so let's stick that in there and see if that will stay in position. So just popping in there. Actually feels like that hole is not as big. It does feel like the hole is slightly smaller because there is a real resistance in that orange part, which is the ring going in. I have found the significance of this notch. This notch here is not in the same place on this one here. It's up here, strangely. Now, that notch there, that mates up to this part here. That sits in that and stops this spinning around, so keeps it in the same position. So we are going to need to cut out that notch out of this one. I've just been trying to get this ring back in through this hole. This hole is a little bit smaller than this one. I thought by eye it was, but I'm now going to have to manipulate this section here by a little bit more melting, I believe. Screwdriver on there, toxic fumes. We can see now I've been mullering that for about 10 minutes to try and expand it out, and we're going to give it a go now and see if it fits in. We have success. This now fits in there perfectly. It doesn't spin, and I've removed as many of the burrs from the burning as I could, but this now is perfect. It now opens and is fully functional, back in the car, and all we need to do now is reinstall the barrel, which is this part here, back in to the hole. So let's do that now. In you go. Okay, let's get that in the right way as well. Okay, orange part is in. Now let's push the silver part through. Great success. That is now seated properly and solid, and all we need to now do is put this part back in. What we've got to remember is there's a metal part there, and that's got to make contact with there and there. So let's slide that. Do you remember when I took this off, it flew across the car? Both of the contacts are on. So we've got this part here, and that just goes in there and onto the top of that green plug, just to hold it in place. So let's go there like that. There we go. So we just need to now finish up the wiring, and what we have is this plug here, which is presumably going to go into there, and then we've just got our plugs for the buttons on the top there as well. Just that one in there. We already had that in, but I unplugged it when I went inside to butcher the fascia. Now this one here, and also worth mentioning, this is fused as well, which is good. Okay, all right. Now that goes into there like that, other way around. Now we're going to run a test on that and see if that is actually working. Okay, and it is. The cigarette lighter is working just fine. And while we're at it, let's put the phone in there. And it's charging my phone too. It's magic. These wires under here. We're going to have to do something about this as well. Cable management will have to be stuffed under there somehow. We'll get to that one in a moment. All right, so let's start with to get it down there far enough that it actually fits in. Get out of the way. Stick that in there. You go through there like that. And all I want is those three cables to stay out here. No, you go underneath. Don't go down the side. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's have a white one. You go in there. There we go. Whitey, in. Blue, no, green, in there, like that. And lastly, brown. Okay. And there we have it, guys. That's all the way down. Just need to put a few screws in there now. Nice and tight. So that's all nicely buttoned up. Let's switch on the ignition, get some light to it. We're still in D, so that's fine. Annoying buzzer. I'll just put the stop the buzzer. We're putting that back in there. Now you can't see it properly, but that's all in there. It's all solid. There's nothing loose. It's all lovely and nice and tight. And we just need to put the gear stick boot back on. Mustn't forget to plug this back in. So let's do that first. Plugged in. Feed that through the hole. Pop that down into its position. In you go. Squeeze that together and put you through the hole. Okay, as always, I need to give this a good clean because I've been fingering it. That panel is now in there. So there we go, guys. That's the end of this video. I'm well happy with having a wireless charger in the Scirocco now. Moving into the modern age, and through magic, the power is transferred to my phone. Amazing stuff. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, please subscribe to the channel. There's still so much more to be done to this car. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Take care.